And then for everybody.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I do.
Anthony, hey Anthony.
I don't know. The first time I heard that was when I got here.
You want to go ahead, maybe?
We can't amend the agenda.
You said
We're
you
not
were
allowed
the
to.
commissioner over the sanitary board?
Oh, no, absolutely not, no, sir. I'm just the city council.
Legal non-conference.
It's for the sanitary board, I just, make sure everything's
I'm not sure.
going in a good direction.
No. Okay, so it is 3:33. I will call the Clarksburg Sanitary Board meeting to order. First is roll call. Everybody was taken upon arrival. Can I have a mover and seconder for the approval of the sanitary board minutes?
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Next, we have discussion and updates. So we have the Milford Street area improvement construction.
Dan Farrell from the Thrasher Group, Milford area. We're still trying to get some prices from the low bid contractor to see if we can reduce. Brian Rigger of Pro Contracting, they wanted the bid. Anthony's been working with him and Tom, see if there's a couple ways we can make it reduce the overall cost and have a reducing change order. We're still working through the easements with Ken. I think he's making pretty good progress on those. So material has been reviewed. We've started to look at some of the submittals. So probably in construction, maybe 6 weeks or so, something like that. Is what we're thinking.
Suspected materials in our office.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have the Arlington Sewer Extension.
Again, Dan Farrell with Thrasher. We have submitted our facility plan approval comments back to DEP. We're waiting on approval of that. As you know, the Army Corps came and did their presentation of the check, but as part of it, we are supposed to do a match of 25%. I was just on the phone with the Army Corps representative before I came here because I had a couple of questions about the grant, and he indicated we may be able to reduce our match while we go through the design and permitting processes and all that, which would help the sanitary board with less carrying costs for finances while we wait for the final grant. We would have to have the whole thing before we went out to bid, but the process of the design, easements, and all the review they have to do, we would not have to quite hold as much money. We were looking at their portion that we had to match it somewhere in the maybe about $700,000 range. So between that and the design loan, we were looking at borrowing about $1.2 million up front. I think we can reduce that a little bit, but Scott's going to work on a number. Kim and I, and probably Tom and your bond counsel will reach out to him and try.
That'll be a set interim period?
Yeah, it's going to be an interim period. The way this program works is the recipient, sanitary board, city of Clarksburg, has to put up 25% match of the project. The way we had structured this with the funding agencies is we'll put it up through a bank loan and carry interest, but then we want that bank loan and the interest taken out when we go to the final thing with the grants that are available. Of course, we did this when interest rates were 2.5%, 3% from a bank, and now you're probably looking at 6 or 7% maybe. So if we can reduce that, it will reduce the overall project cost of the interim financing. So But as that moves along, we're getting ready to order the aerial mapping and start on the design as soon as we get past this approval.
Thank you. Next is a update on the phase 5.
I'll just keep standing.
Thank you. Yeah, the next 2 updates, you can just give them both to us. Thank you.
All right, so the phase 5, that's the facility plan we talked about, how we split the projects up A and B so we can maximize the grant total. That engineering report has been through the infrastructure. We have addressed, the way you do it is you got to do the first report to the infrastructure, then you send a modified version to DEP for what they call a facility plan. We did that. We received comments back for that phase. We've addressed them. We've sent them down there. And I'm going to meet with the head of the DEP, Kathy Emery, of the Clean Water section on Monday on a couple of things. This will be one that I bring up and some stuff we talked about last week concerning how we can work with the water board on some stuff that we talked about last week. Meeting her on another issue, but I'll find out where we are on that. We ordered the aerial mapping for this and the design on this one. This is phase 5A, which is down by the McDonald's, Wendy's, and the interceptor, and some improvements at the sewer plant. So that's moving.
So we're only talking about A right now.
This is only A. That one has been submitted, and we're ready to kick off the design now that we've got, looks like we're getting everything lined up. The phase 5B, the preliminary engineering report was sent in on June 10th. June 10th or May? June 10th, I'm sorry, June 10th. So it will be reviewed at the July 25th, 26th Infrastructure Council meeting, and hopefully finalized in the August 5th meeting. They'll provide us any comments. We'll address it and resubmit it as a facility plan as well. This is the one where we are working through trying to plan a little bit of the paving as well. We're looking at some of the storm drain replacement is where DOH is looking at doing some of their pavement. So we might have to accelerate this project up and try to get it and beat that time frame we were doing there. We do have an engineering agreement to be considered for all the design purposes and stuff of this project, but it's down in infrastructure going through the process right now. Any questions? I know it's a lot.
Thank you. Next, we have the considerations for the phase 5B, the engineering agreement. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Okay. Could you give us details on the agreement?
Yes, this agreement takes us all the way. It's written in the West Virginia DEP format. All these agreements have to follow them. I know you guys got a new attorney now, so maybe you want him to look at it as well. But this is in accordance with the preliminary engineering report. This takes us all the way through past the through the design, the bidding process, the aerial mapping. We had to add some asset management plan in here because the DEP required it, some I&I investigation, all the permitting, also the geotech work associated with CSX. Unfortunately, if you remember the headaches we had on the last project with CSX, we're going to cross them again and all that. So it is a total of approximately, let me get the total on this. It's about $694,000. I'll get the exact total for the minutes, but that's in line with the project we submitted down at Infrastructure Council. I'd be happy to leave it here, let Mr. Stranko look at it, but it follows all the EJ CDC.
So basically, though, you're going to get us an exact number? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think that would need to be in the motion.
Okay, I can get that for you in just a second. So,
Did you want the attorney to look at it? We can put it on our next agenda? Or is,
yeah,
I would
just
like Tim to take a look at it.
absolutely. We'll give him a copy, take a look at it. We'll have the exact number. I apologize. I should have had that up here.
no, that's perfect. So we'll put it on the next agenda for
Okay.
consideration.
I will give Mr.
Once we have
Strank
that number.
a copy and we'll do it then. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have reports. So we'll start with Mark.
I have nothing.
Okay. Frank?
Just want to go ahead and welcome Tim Stranko, our new attorney, to the board. I look forward to working with Tim. He's got a lot of experience in utility work with the water board, so I'm sure he'll be a valuable addition, can help us out. So welcome. Tim.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Kim? Where'd you go?
I have that for report for finances. Basically, I just put the new carryover balances, and we were over what we estimated in the revenue fund by about $280,000. So we were short in the R&R fund by about $148,000. So I'll do some adjustments in those and bring back a revision in the next month or so. We already have a few new projects that we need to take care of also. For the year, we did not hit the budget exact. We were under in revenues. We were about 96%, but we did not spend more than we brought in, so the expenditure were about 94%. So, and I attached a copy of the June number.
Kim, on the R&R fund, you said that we didn't meet the carryover.
Right.
Okay, so if we go back to the budget that we just voted on, are we going to have to make some adjustments to the expenditures?
Yes, probably.
Is there anything that we're going to have to cut that we don't want to cut? Or do you-
Well, we can move some things to the revenue fund because we have access to the revenue fund.
So we can move some things and you'll have those recommendations.
Right.
Any other comments? Thank you, Kim. Next is Drew.
For the month of June, we had no violations to report. The process treated approximately 181 million gallons. Wastewater, we took an additional 191,220 gallons of septic, and we generated $9,103.60 in total revenue. Michael Week is set to begin working on the second phase of the thicker upgrade beginning July 24th. During this time, we will not be able to accept any haulers. I sent out letters to all haulers today, filling in, and the work will take approximately a month to complete. Yesterday, the number 2 VFD for our main raw sewage pump failed. So we had to wire the number 2 raw pump over to number 1 VFD, and that's currently running now. Talked with Anthony, and he has a couple of reps coming from 2 different companies to give us a quote on a new VFD, what VFD we buy. I would like to get one that's identical to it in the upgrade next year. Also yesterday, the top coupler on the main gate stem fell, and the stem broke on our main gate, came apart. Called Anthony. Breckenridge could not make it out to try and repair it. Anthony called Michael Lane. Tom and Bub came out, and we were able to get it fixed. Finished it up about 9 o'clock last night. Breckenridge is in contact with Waco and trying to get a different kind of coupler to repair it better. And this works all under warranty still. The West Virginia DEP started their 2-year inspection on the plant today. Been with the DEP all day. They've split samples with us, and tomorrow they'll be hitting up Johnny Workman to look at the lift stations. Also, we have West Virginia DEP inspection coming on our pre-treatment on July 18th. And that's all I have.
Thank you. John is not here. Tim, did you have any comments?
Thank you, Chairman Phil. You know, the lawyer's got to stand up and talk. Most importantly, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on the team. I practice, if you see my resume, you know that I exclusively practice public sector law. And it's most fulfilling to me. I love being part of a team and serving the public. And what more important thing can we do than to protect the water environment? I also want to say I'm thrilled to be back with Dan and Tom. Dan and I go way back. He was a young engineer. I believe that Dan was young one day. And he was a young engineer at the Morgantown Utility Board when I was in-house counsel. So many of the things I learned about the business, probably most of the wrong things I learned from Dan. Tom and I have been around for decades. And so we have such a competent team here. And I hope to add value. I know I can add value to the team. My job is to manage risk, to make sure you're aware of your options, and then to implement the policies that you enact. I'll support you in any way that I can in that regard. But I think my most important job is to support these professionals, to make sure they understand the risks and the opportunities that are ahead for us, both in projects and with daily O&M. I met with Drew down at the plant last week, and they gave me a terrific tour. And, I've been in this business a long time. You can tell when people own it, when people really care about what they do and what the facility they manage. And that's the kind of guy you have running the wastewater plant. So it's a beautiful facility, and we'll make it better. I'm going to hook up with Mr. Workman as soon as I can to get the other end of the operation looked at, the pump stations and the lines. But there's so much to be done and so many opportunities to excel. As I think I spoke with the county commission recently about this, public sector has to succeed. We have to show the public that we can deliver quality services at the best possible price. And that's what we should be all about. And I look forward to working with you in that regard. Thank you.
Dan, did you have anything else to add?
I do not, thank you.
Anthony? Tom?
Just that we did find another sewer issue down on Sycamore Street, so that will be coming up also, Kim, that we're gonna need some funding and things, just so you're aware. I think the other two we're still working on. We talked about River Road and also there at the bus garage, those are still in progress too.
Is the sewer issue gonna be a big one, money-wise?
I think we're gonna do a temporary fix. We're gonna put a Band-Aid on it, and then we're gonna have to probably go back in at a later date and do some additional work, do some separation work, and it'll be part of another project.
Is that why the road's been closed down there for the last 2
Yes.
days?
Thank you. Ashley?
All I have to add, we're gonna have some, West Virginia DEP inspectors here in town next week, reviewing some of our MS4 stuff, so that'll be interesting. So, that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilor Henry?
Nothing to report.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So you move. Second.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.